playing the point. Jacob Iman, big man, forward slash center, listed at 6'10", 225-pound freshman from Los Alamitos. Ronnie Stapp, the all-area player of the year up from the Bakersfield area, 6'7" freshman from Bakersfield High School. And DJ Houston out of Crossroads High School, 6'1" point guard, so 2 point guards out there, good ball handling and quick off the ball, a 6'1" sophomore from Santa Monica.
Technology, my friend, the old guy with technology.
There you go. Head coach is Perry Webster in his 5th season, and we're going to break down everything since this is the first preseason game of the year. We'll talk about last year. We'll talk about upcoming this year. We'll talk about the players as Perry Webster is looking for his fifth consecutive 20-win season. Michaela Sal, Tom Gorell, Guillermo Nofal, and Jason Richardson on the bench for the Hornets as coaches. Mr. Pavlovich, what did you find out while we were here?
Well, I mean, one of the things you need to do, and remember it's community college basketball, I sort of throw that out the window. This is college basketball. Perry Webster, who comes from proud programs, be it as a player at Cal State Fullerton, to go down south to coach and learn through a great mentor how to be a coach in basketball, teaches one thing. Basketball is a hard-nosed, in-the-dirt game, and if you're not willing to play it my way, you don't get to play. That's the one thing that I first learned. And when they go out and recruit, Corey, they let recruits know. If you come from AAU and you say, hi, my name's Corey Neyland, I put up 42 points a game. Yeah, the guy I play across from puts up 48. If you can't learn to reduce that 48 amount that you're giving up, Perry Webster knows you're not the type of person. So he brings a lot of recruits that understand it's defense first for Fullerton College. We are going to see, and how do you get the play for Perry Webster? Well, you do it in practice, not at game time. Game time puts you back on the bench. Practice lets you get out for game time. If you don't play the way the coaching staff here at Fullerton wants, you'll sit on the bench. The only way you can earn the trust back, and I said to one of the coaches when he said you lose trust, I said, how do I get back in the court? You better show me that you know what I'm talking about in practice. And that's who Perry Webster is on the Fullerton side.
So Vanguard will be in blue with the yellow lettering and the yellow trim. Number 23 is Max Lawrence in blue. Garrett Young, you see in blue, number 20. Nick Martino, number 5, on the court. David Talley is number 4. And DeAnthony McGowan is number 3 at midcourt. So there's your 5 in blue for the Lions. For Vanguard in their bright neon yellow, fluorescent yellow. Jacob Iman is jumping center, number 10 against Lawrence. Number 1 is Harrison Bonner. 15 is Ronnie Stapp. 3 is Tawan Elston. And number 23 is DJ Houston. Iman controls the tap, as you see, as Vanguard has it first half. Across half court to Elston. Stapp, top of the key, little motion offense. Backdoor cut, pretty layup to DJ Houston. That's 2. Nice assist by Ronnie Stapp. Mark Ronnie's a do-everything guy out there, 6'6", 6'7". McGowan fakes a 3. Lawrence, who also plays on the main squad for Vanguard, has it blocked, and Elston on the way back. As you see, moving left to right, Houston. Bonner, defensive specialist out there for the Hornets, Mark, but on offense, had a crucial game in the championship last year. Elston drives, kick out, 3 missed, and Houston misses that one, and McGowan comes away between the leg dribble, hesitates right by Elston. Left-handed layup, no good. Last touched out of bounds by Elston. 2-0 Hornets here. 1 minute gone by.
You can already see foot speed is a big part of this game as it starts it up. Hornets look like they're just a little quicker than Vanguard on the floor.
Good, move it.
And here's Lawrence working on Iman. Behind the back dribble, good defense by the big men, moving them puppies up and down. But there's a kick out for 2 for David Talley. Tied up at 2. 18:43 to play. Houston, Bonner. Bonner, top of the key, wants to screen. Gets it, floats to the right. Stapp, open 3. Back rimmed it. Rebound goes. to Gary Young. His first of the game. 2-2 your score. A minute and a half gone by. Here's Young. Tally. Right side to Lawrence. Hesitation. Kick out. There's a 3 attempt by Martino, and he connects from the right side. 5-2 Lions. Martino out of Rancho Mirage High School. Make that San Clemente High School. Former Triton gives him a 3-point lead. 2 minutes gone by. Harrison Bonner kicks his dribble. Another 3 by Houston, this time in and out. And rebound by Lawrence, his second. Lawrence's second rebound over to Tally. There's an off the glass, no good. And Bonner with his first rebound leads the break with the right hand. As you come up to see Elston. Left-handed dribble, good body by McGowan. Bounce down low to Iman. Turns in the lane. Nice little jump hook by the big man Jacob Iman. Bounce back from Seattle University.
Iman, I think there's somebody named Iman on the football team too, isn't there?
I think that was his brother Casey Iman, who was part of the 2012, I believe, football team for the Hornets. And there's McGowan out of control. Rebound by Houston, his first. Bonner with the leak out. Up front, left side. Leaves it for Iman. He got away with a hop, skip, and a jump. No, he didn't. That's a travel. So 5-4, Lions early. 17 minutes on the clock in the first half of play. Lawrence with the ball. Mark Jacob Iman's a Los Alamitos Griffin all-time leading shot blocker. Top 10 in scoring and rebounding for the Griffins. Had an outstanding 4-year career. There's David Talley, misses the 17-footer. Elston with the board. Elston got away with a walk, shoots a 3, misses badly. And a rebound to Talley. Lawrence keeping his dribble. Talley for 3, no, that's way short. Here comes Elston out of the pack. 16:25 to play, 5-4, Lions with the lead.
Vanguard right now 2 of 7 from the floor, so they haven't found their shooting range against the defense from Fullerton.
Knocked out of bounds, last touch by Lawrence, or excuse me, that's going to be McGowan last touched.
Fullerton 2 of 5 in the game.
Houston will take the ball out of bounds. Iman, Stapp, Elston, Bonner on the floor with him. Houston gets it back at the elbow, left side. Iman working, spins in the lane, over 3, left it short, gets his own rebound, goes back up, and that one falls for his 4th point of the game. 6-5 Hornets.
You can tell it's the first game, Corey, because there's that sense of rust as a team for both teams out here right now.
Yeah, you can only practice and practice and practice and practice some more against the same people. When you start to get bored as the Lions go around the perimeter, here's Lawrence, runs into Stapp, and he travels. Good help defense by Ronnie Stapp. I read something by Perry Webster for the first time last night, and as into the ball game for the first time is Nicholas Baker. Baker in the ball game for Nick Martino. Actually, Martino's still out there. We'll reset that lineup in just a moment. I'm in great position on Lawrence. Again, puts it up off glass, scores 2. So Jacob Iman having his way inside. So 8-5 Hornets, and Nicholas Baker gets initiated into the ball game in the first 10 seconds with a foul.
So you look at Fullerton so far, they're 3 of 8 from the floor. Vanguard 2 of 8 from the floor, 1 of 2 from 3-point attempts.
Iman very short, tapped out of there by Stapp. He gets the own rebound. He got away with a walk. Here's Bonner for 3. Back rimmed it, and Stapp with his second rebound in a row. Elston drives, kicks. Bonner at the nice block by Lawrence. And here comes Lawrence. Iman couldn't get any lift on the shot. And Lawrence picks up his first block. 8-5 the score. 5 minutes gone by first half. So we'll reset. McGowan with the ball. Tally, Baker setting the screen. Lawrence and Martino, the 5 on the floor for the Lions. They're in blue. They have the ball. Martino's in the lane. Kicks for Lawrence. On the line for 2. Short. Long rebound. Bonner chases it. Kicked around. Houston up with it. Bounce pass to Stapp. No good. Rebound. Put back is not going to count. as that's a foul on David Talley on the pass, or actually on the shot it should be.
And really, when you look at the bounce pass, something that's not used, nice bounce pass. What you've got to do is when you make that bounce pass, as it slides on the floor, it's got to come up to the right level for that person to lay it up, Corey. It was a pretty little pass across the lane.
Stapp connects on his first. R.J. Knibb checks in the ball game out of Orange Lutheran, and out is Iman. Knibb, you see number 12, 6'5", freshman out of Orange Lutheran, or for those in the know, Orange Lutheran. Stapp claims the second shot, and it's 9-5 Hornets, 14:40 to play first half. And so McGowan, Lawrence, Talley, Baker, and Martino, the 5 on the floor for the Vanguard. Doesn't take the high screen, uses on the left side. The second time he tried that left-handed layup, mark and miss. Here's Stapp, head up, cross-court pass, Bonner, Elston open 3. That looks good, is no good. And rebound goes to Talley, his second. And the flow mark is kind of hectic early going. And you mentioned first game of the season, missed 3 by Lawrence. And Elston comes the other way. He's a transfer from Cerritos. Knibb runs the court well, but leaves it short, kicks the ball, and we're coming the other way. 9-5 your score, Hornets with the lead.
And everybody's getting one shot, Corey, because that's all. The other team's getting those defensive rebounds. Right now, Fullerton's got 10 rebounds in this game so far with 13:46 to go.
And there's another quick shot that's missed. And the Petronas brothers will check in the next dead ball. Riley and Blaine. Lawrence to Talley on the far side at that wing spot. There's a hand check hold by Bonner. I believe that's the first personal, first team foul for the Hornets. As Omaje Smith will check into the ball game. Second team all-conference last season. Out goes DJ Houston.
Both these teams playing person-to-person defense. Nobody's gone to a zone. Nobody's gone to a trap defense or anything else. So it's really come down to the physical stamina of each individual player for the first game of the season. And you have seen Fullerton help out a great deal. They play very good help defense.
That's Blaine Petronas, number 33, Riley Petronas, number 32. Nice give and go from Petronas to Lawrence. Back to Petronas. Gets the bucket, gets the harm. Chance for a three-point play the old-fashioned way. Foul by Ronnie Stapp.
Perry Webster's saying to me, thanks a lot, Mark, for saying help defense, and then what happens? But if you're going to play man-to-man, I'm going to ask you point blank. You've got to be a team defensive player playing man-to-man because you've got to help people out.
Yeah, and specifically and especially if you play man-to-man straight up, no head movement. Completed the three-point play, 9-8 is your score. And there's a travel. Looked like a double dribble on Smith, travel either way, so that's the third turnover by the Hornets. Vanguard has the ball down by 1. Lawrence, Riley Petronas uses a bounce, pushes off a little on Smith. And there's a bad pass. Stapp comes away. Alley-oop, Barnes, no numbers. Good transition defense by the Lions. Here's Elston, pull up from the right elbow. Almost broke the backboard, and here's Baker with the rebound. And Mark, you were talking about that man-to-man, especially that help defense. And there's a nice drive and bad finish. You know, Mr. McGowan, you were not fouled as Elston comes the other way. Kick out for Smith. That's a good 3. 12-8 is your score. On the pass from Teron Elston, that's his first assist.
Well, you look at it here too, Corey. Right now, Fullerton's 5 of 15, Vanguard 3 of 13. So I'm going to say, is it defense or the offense needs to slow down for both these teams?
Yeah, and you mentioned it's the first game of the season, a preseason matchup. They're both teams finding their rhythm, finding what they want to do, and Blaine Petronas knows what he wants to do. He wants to get 6 points, or excuse me, 5 points. Cuts the lead to 2. 12-10, 12 minutes to play first half. Smith to Bonner. Bonner had an outstanding championship game last year. He misses the 15-footer, knocked out of bounds, last touch by Knibb. So for Danny Caraballo will check in for the Lions. Back in is Nick Martino for Nicholas Baker and DeAnthony McGowan. They join the Petronas brothers and Max Lawrence. The Hornets with R.J. Knibb, Stapp, Smith, Luca Gelb into the game for the first time, along with Devin Howland.
Come on, Nick. Come up.
That down low. Tipped out of bounds. Last touch by Devin Howland. No, they say last touch by Petronas.
Neither one of these teams is really what you would say big basketball teams. I mean, you're looking at people at 6'2", maybe 6'5" at the tallest. Smaller teams on the floor against each other right now.
Almost a turnover saved by Smith, and that's what you'll get at the community college level, Mark. It's very rare. Here Smith drives, puts it up with the left hand. He's going to be all-conference, Mark. He's going to have a chance to be first-team all-conference and player of the year in the OEC. 14-10 Hornets, 11 minutes to play. But community college level, you'll see 6'6" guys. The occasional, and there's a steal by Smith, the occasional legit 6'10" guy, 6'11" guy. Cross-court pass to Gelb. And he puts the English, not enough. Nib with the rebound, no. Active on the interior. He gets his own rebound and gets held on the putback. But they're going to see it on the ground. Baseline out of bounds, Hornets 10:50 to play. But if you see a 6'10" guy at the community college level, he's either not good in school or needs work on his footwork. Or just started playing basketball 6 months ago. One of the three. And here's Howland. Thought about the three. Doesn't take it on the inbound. Gelb working against the smaller Caraballo. Good up and under for Gelb. Luca out of Tucson Magnet High School. And you got to wonder, Mark, is he any relation to the musician Hal Gelb? And there's a foul on Nib out of the Tucson area. Very prolific. His band Giant Sand. So in Tucson.
Gee, you know, somebody from the pregame show should have found that out.
Well, you know. If I would have been here earlier, we would have found out. As there's a timeout taken by Blue. That's Vanguard. Their first timeout taken of the game. They're down by 16-10 with 10:33 to play in the first half. You're listening to Fullerton College. I was about to say Vanguard University. Fullerton College basketball on SportsNetUSA.net.
Nick Piscardo dropping the mic. He thought the show was already over, ready to go home. You heard Nick dropping it next to us. Vanguard University, 4-15 from the floor. Fullerton College, 6 of 18. So you look at 26% to 30%. 3-point shots, Fullerton right now with the upper hand. Well, no, they're not at the upper hand. They're 1 of 8 with 3-point shots. Vanguard University, 1 of 5. Fullerton only 1 of 3 from the charity stripe. Vanguard 1 of 1. Turnovers, Vanguard has 4. Fullerton's got 2.
Okay, so out of the timeout, Caraballo, Martino, Blaine Petronas, in Riley Petronas, and there's a bounce pass out of bounds too low by Chris Rivera out of Foothill High School. So Vanguard in the bright yellow with Howland, Smith, Nib, Gelb, and DJ Houston. His natural position is point at 6'1". Baseline Nib, skip pass. And there's a corner three. Oh, missed badly by Devin Howland, out of bounds, Vanguard way.
And you saw what Vanguard did for it with the timeout. They go into a zone defense against Fullerton. You're going to look at Fullerton and say, you want to pull up for 3? We'll force you to shoot the 3. You go in that zone defense. You can shoot, you pull people out of that zone defense.
Go!
And Vanguard stays in a man-to-man. Around the perimeter, Rivera. That's Blaine. Petronas working one-on-one against Gelb. Good footwork by Gelb. Causes an air ball saved by Houston. Nib to Houston. Running, no numbers. Nobody stops the ball. Kick out for 3, Omanje Smith. Boy, he's going to be a very good basketball player this season. 19-10 Hornets, 9-point lead, their biggest with 9:30 to play first half. Rivera. Cross-court pass, dangerous. Houston to Smith, all alone, and just lays it in, two-handed style, 21-10, 9:13 to play. Vanguard's defensive intensity is picking up, Mark. Petronas, Rivera. And very rarely will you see Vanguard play zone. They're still in that man-to-man, up tight. And if you notice, the offensive set tipped by Houston is setting up 18 feet away from the basket, where in the first 5 minutes they were setting up 14 feet away from the basket. 4 on the shot clock, 3 by Petronas, no. Rebound blocked violently by Nib. Out of bounds, last touch by RJ.
And when you talk about the defenses, I mean, you've got Vanguard that plays his own, but you talk about Fullerton. Fullerton likes man-to-man defense when they play defense.
And that's basketball, Mark. The zone is nice. The zone is good. Jim Boeheim, Syracuse runs a 2-3. UNLV used to run that amoeba defense. It was a 1-3-1. But man-to-man defense, there's nothing like playing it. And when you can play defense, it's special. As McGowan, Lawrence, tipped out of there by Gelb.
Well, it does help your offense, though, when you're playing good defense. I really do believe that. It's a mindset on the floor.
Steal by Gelb, and our crack crew. Elijah Smith thought about the 3. There's a happy 3. And he stays happy. He's got 3 threes. And 13 points, 24-10. Hornets, 8:20 to play.
And the Hornets are doing what you do to a zone defense, Corey. You shoot against it from the outside. Try to make that defense go back into a man-to-man defense.
Reach-in foul by McGowan. And so this broadcast is in conjunction with Fullerton College TV. Thank you again. Makes it easy on us to call the game. We can just sit back and relax, actually. And Mark, Luca Gelb, his dad is a Hal Gelb, famous musician. Actually, his dad might be the most famous musician in the Tucson area. Actually, is the most famous musician in the Tucson area. Could be in all of Arizona. Here's the 3-man weave up top. Smith dumps down, and there's a hold. You watch that play, and the defense, after the 3-man weave, is expecting that ball to go into the corner. Smith keeps it. Iman posts up at the right block. A bounce pass, fundamentally sound, creates that foul. Otherwise, it was an automatic 2. Gelb, Houston, uses it, bodies up, off glass. That's 2. 4 for Houston.
And yeah, he used the glass on purpose. I get so tired of people saying basketball players don't use the glass anymore.
And here's Lawrence working 1-on-1. Steal by Smith, another breakaway. Bounce pass to Houston, and that's 2. 6 for Houston, 28-10. 7:30 to play. And Vanguard needs a good shot here. Needs something within 15 feet, Mark, to really get their rhythm back, get the confidence going. There's a cut. Martino is bumped, no good, but there's Lawrence to clean it up. And for Max Lawrence, his first 2 points of the game, 28-12, 7 minutes to play first half.
Well, I need to see for Vanguard University, it'd be nice to see a few more screens, maybe a couple rubs out there, Corey, going that direction. So you're going to pick off that defender on a trailing play. It just throws him off just a little. You haven't seen that from Vanguard University, to free somebody up from about 12 feet away. That easy jump shot they need to take.
Double high screen. Martino pops out. Wants it for Kelly. Has 1-3. Working on Gale. Cross-court pass. Open. Tipped there by Smith. And Howland with the rebound. So Smith has 1 block, 1 steal, 3 threes, 13 points, and 2 rebounds. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Gale down low. Iman. Lawrence can't handle Iman down low. He may not be 6'10", but he's working big and presents a big self down low. Give him 6'9". That is the 6th team foul. 6:34 to play first half. 28-12 your score. Hornets all over the Lions. Baseline out of bounds. Houston to Howland. Howland out of La Habra. Kick out to Smith. Smith wants to work. He's out of Foothills Christian, and he charged, but it's going to be a block because it's in the restricted area. But David Kelly was there, Mark, all day, or excuse me, David Talley was there all day long. But he was in that restricted area, so that is a blocking foul.
Well, you look at Smith, he's 5 for 5 from the floor, 3 for 3 from three-point country. He's got 1 rebound, 1 assist, total of 13 points in this game. Next leading scorer is Iman. Houston's behind them. Both have 6. For Vanguard University, The leading scorer is Petronas with 5. He's 2 of 4 from the floor. So you sit there and you look at Smith, Corey. I mean, it's a young man that can shoot the basketball, but what you like about him is he just doesn't set up at the three-point line. He finds that alley and then drives towards the basket. Makes him a very difficult person to guard because there's not that set play you know he's going to shoot it from.
Yeah, hits 1 of 2 from the charity stop. We need to hook him up with Rashawn Haylock. His ambition is he wants to own and run his own sneaker store. And a 2-3 half-court press creates a turnover. Gelb travels to the lane, misses the layup, kick out to Elston. Elston checks back into the game and promptly misses an 11-footer. So we're reset. Gelb, Houston, Howland, Elston, Iman. Lawrence says, Iman, I don't care how big you are. Iman blocks it and sends it the other way. And that'll be a personal foul on Vanguard. And they get Devin Howland with the hold. So that's the 4th team foul, first personal for Howland.
And Howland, who wants to be a psychiatrist one day, is getting into that psychological aspect of playing the game of basketball from La Habra High School.
There's a tip. Last touched by the Lions. I'm going to say last touch by Nick Martino. So Martino, McGowan back in the ball game. Lawrence, Talley, and Gary Young. Those are the 5 on the floor. 5:55 to play, 29-12 is your score. Don't forget Vanguard University football tomorrow. We travel down to San Diego Mesa. Here's Elston, lays it up, and Williams off the rim, and Gelb puts it back with the right hand. Gelb's got 4 points.
Who's playing football tomorrow?
Fullerton College.
I thought you said Vanguard University.
Did I say Vanguard University
yeah,
football? That's funny. My bad.
Boy, I tell you what, you want to head back to Tennessee. I know what you're doing. You think it's strictly food.
I went back to 2012. My bad. Got to stop doing that. There was an air ball, and here's Elston working the other way, no numbers. Down low, miss Iman, miss 2. The big man underneath is going to have to be stronger with the rock. Got to convert. Bonner and Stapp checking in for Gelb and Howland. 31-12, 5:05 to play in this first half. Leading scorer is, Omaje Smith with 13 points, actually 14 points.
Harrison Bonner, a throwback from Cal State University Long Beach.
Went to Long Beach Poly. And he had a good game in that finals game last year. We'll go over that in just a moment. As Martino has it, looks for a 3. Short on a 3. Here's Houston the other way. Houston on the left side working for Iman. Has a height advantage. Hook shot in the lane. That's pretty. That's nice. That's 1955 on that. And he's got 8 points. So here's Kelly to Riley Petronas. Back to Martino around the perimeter to Talley. Talley wants the other side to Martino. Nothing across that three-point line. Everything is settling for the Lions. They miss another 3. They haven't scored in 6 minutes, Mark. 33-12. Stapp traveled. Iman in the lane. 10 points for Jacob.
Yeah, Vanguard right now is 5 of 24 from the floor. They're shooting right there at about 19% in this game. And Corey, you can't win a game if you're shooting 19%.
Here's Riley Petronas to Talley. Stepped out of bounds on the give, and that's another turnover. I believe that's turnover number 8 for Vanguard. As checking into the ball game is Timothy Anglin.
Officially 9.
Officially 9.
I like that. Corey Neyland did his own stats down here. He's going to turn around and tell the officials, hey guys, you're off by 1.
That's Anglin, 6'2", 200-pound sophomore out of Compton. Now they're back into that 2-3 zone. So let's see if the shooting from the outside from Vanguard can open up that zone. Stapp is going to play the middle, sets that screen up top. Iman just settles. He's got real estate down there, misses. Stapp with the putback, no. We want to thank Ronnie Stapp for talking to Noah Alvarez on Saturday. Good interview, and there's Anglin for 2. Gets the soft roll. I think it was the hair. 2 points for Anglin.
tell you what, he aimed that shot, got the lucky bounce on it. He shouldn't even been that
No,
close.
no. We're going to give him the bounce. We're going to give him that shooter's touch on that.
Wow, you're too kind.
It's the hair. Bonner, Elston, Houston. Bounce back from Western Michigan. Cross-court pass, Bonner. Too easy for Stapp. He misses long. Roddy Petronas with the rebound, and here's Anglin. No, that's McGowan up the near side. Good defense by DJ Houston on the reach-in. Bounced it right off of McGowan's left leg, and it goes out of bounds. Easy. 35-14 your score, 2:39 to play first half.
10 turnovers here in the first half for Vanguard University. Corey, when you think about it, 10 turnovers in a game might be too many.
Elston to Bonner. Back to Elston around the perimeter on the high screen. Stapp running. Here's Houston for two. Missed it long, and Ronnie Stapp again. He's all over the place, Mark. He was injured last year, couldn't really play. Elston for three, and the second chance opportunity provides dividends for Tawan Elston. His first bucket of the game, 38-14. 2 minutes to play. And Mark, I like to follow Perry Webster on Twitter, and he watched a Los Angeles Clippers game. He said he's watched more Clippers game in the first part of this season that he has in his entire life, and there's a push by Harrison Bonner. And I gotta wonder if it's because of the defense, because the Clippers play excellent defense, and if you look at it, similar squads. They have length on the outside, length on the inside, athleticism inside and outside, so they switch on the balls. You got to think they're similar type of players, similar type of teams.
They are, and the thing is, which right now, how you have somebody who can knock down the shots out at the point. That's what you need when you look at the Clippers themselves. They have shooters on that team that Perry's got to appreciate, but they play hard-nosed defense like Perry's team.
And there's a tip on the outside by Smith, and Ryan Osborn says no. It's because, and there's a 30-second shot clock violation, 1:28 to play, 38-14. Ryan Osborn says no because the Clippers are actually good this year. They're still a little boring.
Who, the Clippers?
No, I'm kidding. I'm just making fun of Ryan. 1:28 to play in this first half, 38-14 Hornets as they lead the Lions here at the Hornets' Nest. This is Fullerton College Basketball on SportsNetUSA.net.
Well, we haven't talked college basketball in a lot of years, Corey Neyland, because you and I haven't done a lot of games recently, but I was looking at the top 50 all-time college players.
It only matters is 1 and 2.
So,
I'm kidding.
Number one is somebody that you would say is the best in college of all time.
No, he is the best in college of all time. There's no dispute. There's no doubt.
That's Kareem.
Lou Alcindor.
Or Lou Alcindor, that's right. Lou Alcindor was iconic. Okay, so in saying that, what was the first game? Here's my trivia question for you. What was the first game Lou Alcindor, who did he play against at UCLA the first time in a true competitive game as a freshman?
He played his team, right?
He did.
And they beat the varsity team.
And how many points did he score?
I don't know. He must have scored 38.
He scored 15.
Oh, okay.
He scored 15,
But
and
they won.
They beat the defending national champions by 17 points in that game.
And you know what's funny? You know who the second greatest is?
Pete Maravich.
Nope, Bill Walton.
Oh, go away.
No,
Go away.
hands down.
Perry
Bill.
Webster, where are you when I need you? Perry, you need to tweet Corey Neyland and tell him Pete Maravich, number 2.
Pete Maravich, top 5, but not number 2. It
Yeah.
goes Lou Alcindor, Bill Walton, all-time college. Greatest players
Perry,
ever.
Perry, you need to come over here and just sit down with Corey and I right now.
Almost a steal. Here's Omaje Smith. Elston, Houston, Iman, and Stapp dump down to Iman in the lane. He's been there all game.
Pete Maravich averaged 44.4 points a game, and his shooting percentage was 42.3%. One of the only players on the collegiate level that scored more points than his shooting percentage was. Nobody in the game of college basketball averaged for a career now. Since then, 44 points a game.
21 of 22 in a finals game for MVP for his second straight national title is Bill Walton. That's impressive. Yeah, Pete Maravich never got there. 42%, that means you chucked a lot of shots. Pete Maravich is top 5, though, as Fullerton now in a 2-3 zone.
Perry Webster wants to know if all 3 of them are still around and have community college eligibility.
Good force by McGowan there, and he's fouled.
Pete's gone, but the other 2, I'm not sure they'd help Perry.
No, I don't think so. If I can outrun Bill Walton and Kareem, you got troubles. Noah's got a mic. Anything interesting?
Yes, I
You want to hear what Noah has to say?
Ooh.
Makes the first, 40-15. 48 seconds to play first half, and don't forget, coming up at halftime, we will have Noah Alvarez. You gonna have a partner?
And I got some of my fans at home already saying Alcindor, number 1, Maravich, number 2, Sampson, number 3, and Walton, number 4.
Okay, whoever sent that, no. And there is Stapp at the free throw line, 34 seconds to play. We're going to talk more about this in the second half. I know we are. There's Stapp with the kick out to McGowan. 40-16 your score, under 30 to play first half.
One shot, Anthony, one shot.
They got the first one right. They got 4 of the top 5 right, but not in that order. McGowan holding for the last shot. Here he is at the free throw line. Stops, pops, ripped it. Here's Elston with 2. Pulls up from 25 feet off glass, no good, and that'll end the first half of play with the Hornets up 40-16 over Vanguard University. And this is Fullerton College basketball on SportsNetUSA.net. Corey Neyland, Mark Pavlovich, I believe Noah Alvarez is going to come on and join us in just a moment.
Yes. Well, we got an exciting football game tomorrow evening as Fullerton.
So Noah Alvarez is going to come up tomorrow night. We're going to have a little Fullerton College football here on SportsNetUSA.net. Noah Alvarez and I are going to be out there. Ryan Osborn is going to come over and visit with you in the table in a second. We're going to be going down to San Diego Mesa. They're still in the hunt for a conference when you think about it. No, as silly as that may sound for some of the fans out there, since it's a down year maybe for the Hornets, they could end up being conference champions. So I'm going to let you and Ryan Osborn talk a little Fullerton College football, a little Fullerton College volleyball on SportsNetUSA.net.
Yeah, and Mark, when you look at Fullerton College volleyball so far, they've significantly improved over the last couple of seasons, and the difference between Fullerton College volleyball of 2 years ago versus Fullerton College volleyball this year is the fact that they found an outside hitter. Sailor Frew has been sensational so far, and she's really led them in almost all offense categories. Now, you also have to look at Samaria Longstreet, who has been really good as well. They have almost a two-headed attack that they can go at different opponents with. We haven't seen that since at least the 2014 season.
You know what? I'm going to disagree with you a little. You're talking about the offense is so good. We watched them the other night against Orange Coast College. I think the thing that's impressive about this Fullerton team is they go and get the ball when it's down on the floor. Anybody will lay out to dig a ball out of basically the wood or the dirt in the old days. They have a tendency to know how to set the ball cleanly. So you don't have anybody setting the ball and it's off 2 or 3 inches where I can't make that big hit. I can't throw that thunder shot in there, Noah. And the third thing that they do is they rotate well with their offense. They're not a right-handed team. They're not a left-handed team. They're not a setting team is what makes them good. Maybe their record isn't as good as anybody else, but it's that type of team where you don't know where they're coming from offensively. And I've yet to see this team give up any time when they play the game of volleyball.
I'm actually going to agree with Mark here, too. I think their defense of this Fullerton volleyball team is the special part, especially when you look at the libero sophomore, Priscilla Gutierrez. She took a year off from volleyball last year, played 2 seasons ago, But she's really responsible for getting those first touches and really getting those touches under control. And then you mentioned it, the nice sets from their two setters, Chloe Johnson and Karen Delgadillo, two freshmen battling it out and both getting rotation in that Megan Glennie lineup. But both players are key impact players for them as far as getting that first and second touch, which allows them to go on the offensive instead of staying on the defensive all the time.
So I'm going to ask both of you. I'm going to put you both on a spot. You've seen Irvine Valley. You've seen Orange Coast College, with basically Saylor said if there's two teams she wanted to play against was Orange Coast College and Irvine Valley. Playoffs aren't far away. Fullerton's got to get hot and got to get in a roll. And Ryan Osborn, my question to you is, what do they need to do to be one of those top 4 teams with the playoffs just lingering around the corner?
Well, I think the biggest thing that they need to learn is how to close out sets, because we saw them against Orange Coast in which they actually looked like they were going to take it in 4. However, they allowed Orange Coast to go on an 8-2 run midway through set number 4, and they weren't able to recapture that momentum that they had in the first couple of sets in set number 5. I think if you're looking at this team under Coach Megan Glennie, yes, they do have some sophomores in Samaria. Yes, they do have Saylor Frew. But as Noah mentioned, their setters are freshmen. They have some defensive specialists who are freshmen. So this is still a young team who needs to learn how to close out matches to be able to have success in the playoffs.
And I think part of that goes into their serving as well. We saw it against Irvine Valley College. They had 9 service errors that match to only 1 service ace. Tough to do against a really top team in Irvine Valley College.
Actually, when Noah talks about the service aces, that was something that we talked to Coach Megan Glennie about, and how she thought her team ended up serving against Irvine Valley. And she said that was probably one of the biggest areas of concern for her against IVC, is that they weren't able to really get anything going in the service game because they had 1 ace, 9 errors. For Coach Megan Glennie, that's not acceptable. They ended up tuning that up a little bit better against Orange Coast, but nonetheless, it wasn't at the spot that they would have liked it to be.
Well, we'll see, because we'll be out there Wednesday night, and then we're going to follow it up, be out there Friday night. Noah Alvarez will be calling the action. You'll be out there. Corey Neyland will be out there with Friday night. 2 big matches that they've got to win this coming week. And the reason I said they've got to win, volleyball is that game of momentum. I mean, a football game, you go a week, you play again. Yeah, do you get momentum? I don't really think football's a momentum sport the way volleyball is, because you lose 3 in a row, you've got to forget within 2 days. And if there's something that's a flaw, everybody knows you've only got 2 days to correct flaws. So as the season goes on, if you've got flaws on your team, they're probably not going to go away. Where in the game of football, you have that week to prepare, to think about it. You get a bye week in there. That's the difference, really, when you think about it. Now, on the flip side, let me say this point blank. Do I think the women that play the game of volleyball are some of the most skilled, fundamentally sound, great athletes on the collegiate level? Yes. Do I agree with Saylor? Do they get the love? No. So you need to come on out. You need to come on out. Oh, speaking of love, look at that. We get love here. You need to come on out and watch a little volleyball. You're the voice of women's volleyball on sports8usa.net. I've got to ask you, game that you've learned to become in love with is getting to call all those volleyball. You look at these women athletes, Noah, I look at them and think a lot of the guys couldn't even play against our young women here at Fullerton College.
Well, when you look at volleyball as a sport, there's not a whole lot of movement as far as compared to football. You're not up and down the field. The actual court itself is relatively small in comparison to basketball and some of these other sports. But you look at the movement and footwork. The footwork when you're setting, the footwork when you're an outside hitter, or the footwork when you're a middle and you're going up for a block attempt like we see Sam Longstreet do so many times, or Mackenzie Jenstad, another middle for Fullerton volleyball. You see all these players, they're working so hard to keep their feet work, and then you can see when they make an error every now and then on a block attempt, or when they make a block attacking error, you can credit to their footwork. So I think volleyball is an underrated sport, and how much footwork you need to be on top of.
Corey Neyland trying to get his basketball mojo going here. You know what he'd do if Corey went out there and shot right now? He'd be down at Juan Cuevas would have to come running out here because Corey'd pull a hamstring shooting a basketball.
Unless lunch was on the line, Mark.
There we go. I mean, he would just go, oh, I hurt myself. 3-point line, baby. Pick up the ball. One shot. That's it. As Vanguard University walks back on. I was actually going to get out of your way and let you talk for the next 8 minutes. A little basketball.
Sounds fine. So no, when
you want to take these?
Yeah, I'll take those in just a minute. No, when you end up looking at this Saturday, it's a big matter of whether or not Fullerton College can actually, we'll say, recapture the magic that they had over the first couple of weeks of the season. Why, you ask? Well, because Fullerton, it seemed like they have had significant problems in the defensive game, in addition to having some problems as well in trying to get points at timely moments. When you look at this upcoming matchup against San Diego Mesa, points are going to be at a premium because San Diego Mesa is ranked in the top 15 in the state of California.
Well, when you look at Brian Cook's defense, they're known for taking the ball away. They're known for getting pressure. They're known for allowing opponents to not score that many points. And this year, it hasn't been the case necessarily. The Hornets are allowing 32.5 points per game to opposing offenses this year. So it's not as a strong unit, a lot younger unit. They had over 50 players go on to the university level from last year's team. So it's obviously hard to rebuild and reload, especially at the community college level. Not a lot of gray shirts and red shirts returning on this Fullerton Hornets team too. So the defense has been the area of weakness, but I think they got their mojo back. I think they got the swagger back after last weekend's victory over Palomar College, where they had a big interception return for a touchdown by arguably the best cornerback in the state of California, Xavier Steele. And so they were able to force turnovers, make sacks, and I think that's going to get their mojo going, and hopefully they can carry that into this weekend.
So you're watching live currently as Fullerton College is taking on Vanguard University here tonight. It's a 40-16 score at the half. Brian Osborn joined by Noah Alvarez. The two guys who were on the mic earlier were Corey Neyland and Mark Pavlovich as well. But once again, Brian, Noah here at halftime talking about Fullerton College football. Going into tomorrow afternoon's matchup against San Diego Mesa, Noah, when you look at this matchup, San Diego Mesa, it seems like they kind of suffered from their own success. And what we mean by that is when you look at San Diego Mesa's first 4 games of the season, it almost seemed as if, okay, they are one of the better teams in all of Southern California, perhaps in the entire state of California. But that changed as soon as they ended up taking on Riverside. Then they lose to El Camino and barely get past Cerritos College. People are thinking, well, what happened to them? Are they feeding? What's going on? I think they are, we'll say, suffering from their own success. Why? Because the first 4 games of the season, everyone that they played was ranked outside of the top 25. They weren't given a test early to be able to see how good their team was. And then all of a sudden you run into the #1 team in the nation. That's tough for anyone to have to go and play against Riverside City College. But nonetheless, you see San Diego Mesa, they get blown out by Riverside City College. They lose by 3 scores to El Camino College, and then all of a sudden they take on Cerritos. Just barely make it by 1 point. In fact, if it wasn't for an extra point that was blocked earlier in the 3rd quarter, San Diego Mesa doesn't win that ball game.
And you mentioned it, they have been their own, I forgot how you worded it, but where Fullerton...
Suffering from their own success.
Suffering from their own success, I like that wording. Where Fullerton has struggled on the defensive end, San Diego Mesa has struggled on the offensive end, and they're averaging 34 points per game this year, which may seem like a lot or a good amount, but against those conference opponents and against the top teams in the country when they face Riverside City College, they really struggle to score. They really don't do too many things special on offense, and you're right, their defense is the strength of their team. They have 2 really stud defensive ends that you're going to have to watch out for tomorrow in Isaiah Sales and Julian Sonderland. 2 defensive ends that when I was talking with the coaching staff here at Fullerton College, they're saying both those guys are getting D1 Power 5 offers from schools this year. So those are the 2 key players on their team. They're led by defense, and one of their defensive tackles came up with that huge block to block the field goal last weekend against Cerritos, which really gave them the opportunity to drive down the field and go ahead and get that score.
Now, when you look at SportsNetUSA.net, who is not only airing the game that you are currently watching, but also the San Diego Mesa Fullerton College game that will take place tomorrow afternoon, you also have to look at what's going on SportsNetUSA.net tomorrow. it's going to be an extravaganza, if you will. If you want to watch Fullerton College, not just because of the football team, but also because you want to see that talent that Noah was talking about just a couple of moments ago that San Diego Mesa has on their defensive line, well, you can check that out right here on SportsNetUSA.net. And when you look at SportsNetUSA.net, we've got a ton of games coming up on Saturday. It's not going to be 1, 2, or 3. We've got 4 games going on at the exact same time. That's right, not 1 p.m., 5 p.m., and 7 p.m. starts, all at 6 p.m. We started off with East LA College, who will be taking on Bakersfield. That's going to be, of course, a 6 p.m. game. Myself, I'll be on the call. Ryan Osborn out at East LA against Bakersfield as they try to get their 3rd win of the season. Then the Hornets are going to be down at San Diego Mesa. That will be at 6 p.m. Corey Neyland, Mark Pavlovich, who you were listening to earlier and who you will hear in just a couple of moments. They'll be on the call there. Victor Vasquez, Noah Alvarez will also be taking the drive all the way into San Diego County. The Golden West Rustlers will be live here on SportsNetUSA.net. The franchise, Mr. Rashawn Haylock, will be on the call there, the voice of Golden West Rustler football as they travel down to South County and take on Saddleback College in a game that, well, Golden West doesn't necessarily look at as a must-win, but it would be something huge for their bowl possibilities because Saddleback is ranked number 3 in the entire state of California. We also finish it off with LA Valley College, who is going to take on Glendale and possibly get win number 3 of the season. Last week they ended up beating Compton College as they were on the road at Compton. Well, they have a chance to get win number 3 against Glendale. That will be this Saturday coming up. So 4 different games. You've got Golden West in addition to Fullerton College, and you have LA Valley and East LA. 4 different games, all starting at 6 p.m. as we get set to toss it back over to Corey Neyland and Mark Pavlovich in just a couple of moments. But stay tuned to SportsNetUSA.net as we are the leader of community college football here in Southern California. So right now I'm being joined by Corey Neyland. And Corey, I want to go back to the list
you're
that
wrong.
you guys
You're
have.
wrong. Yes, and Walter Berry was much better than Zion Williamson and a whole bunch of other people that you're thinking about.
Oh, I'm not thinking about Zion. I'm
Okay.
thinking Walter Berry, top 5.
No, not even close.
my
man.
God.
Goodness, no. Your order's okay. I mean, your list is okay. Who else is there? Bill Walton, Pete Maravich, Bill Russell, Ralph Sampson.
Oh, Bill, okay.
Bill Russell, Ralph Sampson. You can go without your top 5. Okay, so there you go. Walter Berry does not replace Christian Leitner in the top 10.
Really?
Really. Christian
Okay.
Leitner, I mean, 4 times Final Four, 2-time champion, All-American twice. I mean, he doesn't make it. Walter Berry got to the Final Four once on a loaded St. John's team that didn't win anything. He had Chris Mullen, Mark Jackson,
But see,
Walter Berry.
here's why I put him in the top 5. Community college product, went to San Jacinto College, and since we're here at a community college game, he gets that nod.
Then you're going to put Larry Johnson in the top 5, Jeff Greer in the top 5, Mitch Richmond in the top 5. I mean, who else are you going to put in the top 5? Stacey Ogman in the top 5. I mean, he can be in the top 10. Well, he wasn't community college. I'm sorry, but you got a whole bunch of people you can put in the top 5 if you're talking community college.
Now, before I get
You
taken
can
to
put
task even more, I'll switch over to Mark Pavlovich.
As we're here in the second half to start, as Vanguard and Blue has the ball, with Talley working on Bonner in the lane, spins, nice bucket, no, it rims out. And here comes Harrison Bonner for the Hornets, and there's an easy layup for DJ Houston to start the second half of play, 42-16 Hornets. 19:36 to play just started, so.
Mr. 30 minutes comes in and takes 45.
That's okay, he was talking about his list.
Oh,
Yeah, we have to school him. Okay, Lawrence, Talley.
yeah, schooling.
Yeah, a little bit. Baker. But Lawrence back to DeAnthony, misses it wildly. McGowan. And there's a rebound by Hyman, who had a solid first half. Hyman. A little 17-footer by Elston, leaves it short. Too smooth on that shot. They're on defense with Stapp, Elston, Houston, Bonner, and Hyman. Vanguard in their traditional man-to-man. There's a nice block by Hyman Missed it by Lawrence 2 times. Tapped out of there by Baker. And here's Harrison Bonner coming the other way. Bounce pass to Houston. Cross-court pass. Stat with the left.
Textbook running of a fast break. 2 people in the wing, 1 in the middle. You draw the defender towards you. You pass through the lane to the other person in the far wing. Easy layup.
And DeAnthony McGowan dribbling too much, and it's stolen. Yes, it is by Elston. He's coming 1-on-2. Iman with the trail. He decides to take Lawrence all the way, misses. And here's the thing why if you're a Vanguard fan, you don't like that call. Elston goes up
and uses the free arm.
His arm to clear some space, and with the layup, Lawrence will straight up. He gets called for the foul.
But bad position, I'm going to blame that on the ref. Bad position, he's trailing the play. He can't see the lead arm. You've got 3 officials on the floor. The other official should walk over and say, hey, it's the other direction.
That's why I'd be a horrible referee, because I'd let that one play as Elston makes the free throw, 45-16. Actually, I'd let 70% of the things go.
Well, yeah, I played against you. Perry, if you ever play against Corey, make sure you take a baseball bat first.
46-60, and you know I can't run anymore, so it's about to get more physical.
I don't think Perry Webster would need one.
No, he'd go by me too quick. Tally. Good defense by Houston. Houston bounced back from Western Michigan. Here's Lawrence for 3. No good. Settling again. Baker goes over Stapp for the rebound on the ground. I'm going to call it jump ball, and it should be Hornet ball.
Corey, one of the things you've got to like about Vanguard University and the way they're playing is realize this is a team that won the national championship in 2014 for the NAIA. They've been to the Final Four in 2014 too. So Red Soliday is looking for those other players that can work their way up to help this Vanguard team.
Yeah, you don't see too many, and we'll talk about more about that in just a moment, as Stapp connects on 3. So Stapp with 6 points. You don't see too many developmental squads at the community or at the NAIA level really anymore. You see some at the Division I and Division II level, but at the NAIA level, you don't see them much. And so Lawrence pulls up from 16. That one is good. So Lawrence with 4 points. But again, 2014 National Championship, 49-18, 17-17 to play. And they play teams, this developmental squad plays teams. This year they'll have 10 games. As there's a cross-court pass to Elston, thought about the 3. Bonner drives the lane, lays it up, and lays it in. Harrison Bonner gets on the scoring board for the first time. They play Hope International, San Diego Christian, University of Antelope Valley, Cal Lutheran. All those teams twice, and 2 teams that are to be determined later. And there's a 3 by Lawrence. Yes, sir. So Max Lawrence with 5 straight points, 51-21 is your score with the Hornets in the lead.
And what you can see, both these teams are starting to get comfortable. So that first half is just, hey, starting to play, like you said, playing little brother now.
All right. And there's an illegal screen. A set by Jacob Iman.
Of course, Vanguard University, Golden State Athletic Conference. They were the champions in 87, 89, 1990, and then the year 2014 that they won and everything. And Red Soliday really has changed the attitude over at Vanguard for the men's game.
Yeah, Bob Wilson was a long-time head coach over there at Vanguard, then took over by Fred Litzenberger. That was knocked out of there by Ronnie Stapp. He wants to get on the air again, so he saved that ball from hitting the computer.
Would you see me? I was going to catch that, throw it out there to you. You were going to go down there and slam dunk it for me?
Noah had more of a chance of getting that ball than either one of us. And then Red Soliday came in, and like you said, and there's a steal by Tawan Elston, and here's Ronnie Stapp all alone. And there's miss. There's a kick. Ronnie Stapp left it for Tawan Elston, and Elston.
Do you think somebody's not smiling right now on that one?
I just wonder how the computer is at home right now. 51-21. That is a 30-point lead for the Hornets, and Lawrence 3 in a row. So So he's got 8 quick points to start the second half, 51-24. He's got all 8 points in the second half for the Lions, 15:37 to play. Houston to Bonner. Bonner working on the right side. Omaje Smith checked in, wants to go down to Hyman against Lawrence. Up and under, blocked this time by Lawrence. And last touch by Vanguard.
Very good anticipation from Lawrence. He makes Hyman make the move. He lets Hyman go underneath the basket, Corey, which actually gives you another defender because you've got to get out as we get timeout on the floor with 15:23 left to go here in the second half. It's the Hornets 51, Vanguard University 24 here on sports.usa.net.
We talked a little bit about Vanguard University and their team, their developmental squad. Let's talk about Fullerton now. What they're coming off of last year. They won the state championship.
And they almost won the state championship a couple years before that, too. So, I mean, they've had some very good, let's say the last 4 years have been good 4 years.
And you see the replay here. There's a nice steal. Stab wants to get fancy. Leaves it up for Iman at 5'9". He gets up, and he just bricks the dunk. I mean, it was a good pass. That's all on him.
So when you look at what Perry Webster has done the last few years, Corey, a very heartbreaking state championship where they lose. Many people who watch it thought Fullerton should have come away with the victory.
Yes, they should have.
They didn't. And it took a while, like Perry said, it took a while to forget it. But he did. And Corey, I give him a lot of credit as a coach because a loss like that can linger. He didn't let it linger. He went out and recruited and got more players to come to the state championship than what he's doing now. And that says much more for him as a coach than winning the state championship. I mean, that you've got to have a coach that really believes in a program that he's developing, and that's what Perry Webster's got here.
Elston pulls up for 2, 53-24 out of the timeout with Iman, Smith, Bonner, and Houston, the 5 on defense for the Hornets in gold. Lawrence on the high screen. Back to Petronas. He pulls up, and that's Riley Petronas for 2. His first bucket, 53-26. He's joined by Carballo, Martino, Young, and Lawrence.
27-point deficit right now for the Lions. Corey, one of the things I'm going to ask you, because we saw how tenacious the defense was for the Hornets in the first half. Got a 27-point lead. It almost, I don't know, maybe I'm not seeing it right, but it feels like the Hornets are relaxing a little. From a coaching's perspective, you still want that same intensity. It doesn't matter if you're up by 27.
Yes, Elston, Bonner, and Iman out. Nib, Gelb, and Howland in.
Nib, you better come up.
Pull up. That's 4 threes for Omaje Smith. He's got 16 points. And you look at, and here's a guy, Mark, who got sick at the start of the state tournament, Omaje Smith. And there's a 2 by Riley Petronas. He gets his second bucket in a row. He's got 4 points, 56-28. So he got really, really sick, and he was not himself in that tournament. So Fullerton was down at least 1 player. And then they get to the finals game, and there's a pass on the interior that's deflected. Kicked out to Howland. He connects on a 3. And Devin Howland is in the scoring column with 59-28. And so I believe they had 4 players foul out in that finals game, and they still won the ball game. Or 4 players in foul trouble. I know at least 2 fouled out. They beat a good City College of, what did they go called again? City College of San Francisco?
Yes.
And there's a steal. Here's Gelb, one-handed up and in. 61-28, and it was a rough and tough ball game. Neither team shot over 45% in that game, but Fullerton, the better team, won that. And this year, they're ranked number 5 in the state in the preseason polls. Is that a little bit disrespectful?
No.
Okay. Riley Petronas with 6 straight.
Basket by Riley Petronas.
Petronas out of Capistrano Valley Christian High School. His brother Blaine is also on the team, had 5 points in the first half. And there's Howland again, no. Nib followed, no. Again, no. And last touch by RJ. Actually, we're going to say last touch by Vanguard. As you'll see the replay here. There's Phil Thurman.
Phil Thurman trying to walk up some steps. He's old. He doesn't get up there as fast as he used to.
Nib to Houston. A ring around the Rosie, and he's fouled. Fouled by Timothy Anglin. So foul on the ground, baseline out of bounds, 13.
Well, I thought I'll wait till we actually get a break because there are a little more things I want to say about Perry Webster and what he does for his team.
Houston looking inbound. Nib, great work underneath against England. 63 to 30. 33 points is their biggest lead of the ball game. Garrett Young barely grazes rim. San Francisco, preseason number 1. San Diego City 2. Los Positas 3. East LA 4. Vanguard, the defending state champs, is 5. There's another 3. That's missed. And a foul underneath. They're going to get a hold on Garrett Young. Other OEC teams in the top 30 will be Saddleback at 15. Santiago Canyon, number 26, and Riverside, number 29.
Fullerton's winning the rebound battle right now. They've got 36 to Vanguard's 26, so they're controlling the boards, which allows them to build this 33-point lead so far in the game with 12:17 to go.
Houston and Gale playing two-man. Houston drops a little dime to Nib. That's too easy, man. When you get your point guard in the key that
When you
easily,
look at the field, you look at the foot position and the body position Corey's getting. He's right underneath the basket, blocking out his own guy before he touches the ball.
man, they're not even have to set that many screens against this defense. Breaking down pretty easily. Max Lawrence pulls up for another 3. He misses that one, made his last one. And there's a loose ball foul, looks like on DJ Houston on Carballo. So it should be baseline out of bounds for the Lions, 65 to 30. 11:46 to play in the ball game. This is Fullerton College basketball on SportsNetUSA.net. There's inbound. And again, like you said, first game of the season.
Only 11 free throw attempts in this game. I like what the officials are letting them do. They're doing what you like, letting them play the game.
Perry Webster, 98 and 26 in his 5th season.
Good, good.
Gale thought about the 3. Smith. Reach in by McGowan. McGowan wants a hook. McGowan's not going to get the hook. Looks like he's trying to make a cake mark. It ain't happening. It's Blaine Petronas and David Talley will check in. And check in for Young and Carballo. You see Jason Richardson next to Omaje Smith. Jason Richardson had a first-team OEC year for the Hornets just a couple years ago before he headed to Southern Utah. Smith in the lane. Knocked away by McGowan. I'm going to say he got too much arm, not enough ball.
Smith, 6 of 8 from the floor, 4-6 3-point for a total of 17 points. And when he goes to the line right now, one thing we're not seeing about Perry Webster, Corey, is the amount of young men he has transferred out of this program to the next level. I know we've said it all about football. Hey, 48 transfers. But you look at Perry Webster last year alone with 2019, 8 from your team you transfer to the next level?
Yeah, you go to the Fullerton College website for the entire school. And the first thing you see is Fullerton College basketball players holding up their diplomas. 67-30 as both free throws are dropped. 19 points for Smith. It's impressive. It really is. Here's Petronas again. Riley has got 8 points, Mark, all in the second half.
Well, I know you can relate to that. You were a basketball player and it took you 5 years to get out of elementary school, right? The 6th grade alone.
2 years in the 6th grade. A few more years to get out of Mount Sac. I don't know. We're going on 20 years now for the Mount Sac?
Yeah. Not bad for a man of 57.
There you go. It's not bad. Smith back to the line. 11 minutes to go in this game. And they lose a lot, too. I mean, they lost Ronnie Reedus, co-MVP of the Orange Empire Conference. And I like how they vote on the Orange Empire Conference. First free throw is good for Smith. He's got 20. They gave it to Lance Coleman the second and Sean Stith last year. I guess because they finished top 2. There was no Cole for me last year. It was all Lance Coleman the second. He was out and out the best player in that conference last year. There shouldn't have been Cole anything. 69-32. Ronnie Reedus, the defensive player of the year. Well deserved. You know, we're going to do some more basketball games this season. We're going to come up with our all Fullerton College basketball team as well. And there's a block coming back. Riley Petronas has it. Back to Lawrence. Puts it up. Puts it in. 69-32. And Ronnie Reedus might make somebody's team for all Fullerton College all-time team. Stop. Screen by Nib. Keeps it. Kicks it out to Howland. He wants his second 3. He misses his second 3. And the rebound to Carballo. Carballo with the right-handed dribble. Bounce pass and almost turns it over. Blaine Petronas does turn it over.
See, I got to find Roger C's phone number and text number because I'll just say, hey, could you put the all Fullerton team together for me?
It's all good because you know Edgar Clark is on there. Walt Simon is on there. And here is the left-handed dribble. Elston, nice little crossover in the lane. Gets the bucket, 71-34. You know what I love nowadays about the crossover dribble? Here's poor defense by the Hornets. Missed finger roll by Petronas. Gets his own rebound, blocked from behind by Gill. Lawrence now. Petronas shoots it long. Nib with the board. Right side step. Puts it up. Agile move. Supple, if you will, on the layup. 73-74. Excuse me, 73-34 is the score. That 3 was missed by Lawrence. And last touch actually bounced out of bounds by Vanguard.
So here's my basketball question for you since we take a break here. The Hornets up 73-34. My number 4 player in all-time college, David Thompson. But I took it from the left from North Carolina. And you know what they said about David Thompson?
Actually, yeah, that's right. See, now you're going to make me do a list.
You know what? You know what they said about David Thompson? So I'm going to ask you this, and Perry Webster, I know you're around me.
Before you ask, so my list is now Lou Alcindor, Bill Walton.
They got Bill Walton as number 3.
David Thompson.
Ralph Sampson is 5.
Here's your replay. Has Elston with a nice crossover for the bucket. I like the replay. Love the slow motion. Watch this again from the other angle. Coming. Well, here you go. Here I go.
Nice camera work. Len Bias is number 7.
A little bit too high for Len Bias, but I'll stick with Len. I like that.
So what did they mean when they said David Thompson created Michael Jordan?
What they mean is that's Michael Jordan's the guy who, I know he's not going to say he looked up to anybody, but he looked up to David Thompson. I mean, David Thompson was the original Skywalker. There's a foul down low, and that was his nickname, David Skywalker Thompson. So he's one of those guys who, if he had stayed healthy, you're looking at that guy who revolutionized the game. He was Jordan before Jordan. He was a little bit different than Julius Erving because Julius Erving was silky smooth. David Thompson was explosive and had that scoring mentality that you just didn't see at the college level. You look at Michael Jordan and they say he's greatest of all time in the pros. That's David Thompson at the college level. He and a couple others beat UCLA out of North Carolina State in 74. And the second free throw was missed by Nib. Missed both free throws. 74-34 is the score. But he was that guy. So I forgot about David Thompson. Here's Lawrence on the drive. Misses that one. Nib gets his own rebound. So we had Lou Alcindor, Bill Walton, David Thompson, Pete Maravich, Bill Russell. There's a 3. And Luka Gale, 77-34. Ralph Sampson might be a little bit too high, and there's an unforced turnover, number 15 for the Vanguard Lions.
And here's my community college connection. Walter Berry from San Jacinto junior college, and then played at St. John's University.
Yep, same thing with Ryan Osborn, who said that. But Walter Berry is one of the greats, but not even close to the top 10 or 20. No. Was he better than Mitch Richmond? He's on a better team. Was he better than Jamal Tinsley in college? Who also went to Mount San Jacinto Community College. Jamal Tinsley out of Iowa State.
Well, first of all,
Jeff
the guy
Blair,
who keeps
Larry Johnson out of Odessa Community College.
guy that keeps texting me says Walter Berry's right up there, and he just wants to know, Mark, how could I have forgotten David Thompson? I don't know. You're getting old, the guy who's texting me.
Walter Berry was great for 3 years for St. John's. He was a great college player. There's a nice drive by Blaine Petronas, but he doesn't get the bucket to go, but he does get the foul.
You put Christian Leitner in your top 10?
Yes, and I forgot Oscar Robertson. He's number 3.
J.J. Reddick?
No.
Hank Gathers?
First free throw. Top 10, no. Top 20, maybe.
Austin Carr?
No. Scoring machine, but not top 10.
I just keep beating your names.
Okay. Here's the definitive list for the next 30 seconds. Lou Alcindor, Bill Walton, Oscar Robertson, Bill Russell, David Thompson, There's a foul. And David Talley's got to be wondering, what does it take to get a charge called? As new Hornets in the ball game, as R.J. Knibb will head to the line. He's out there with Daniel O'Neal, who's wearing number 24 for the Hornets. Devin Howland, number 21. Ryan Perry, number 4. And Luka Gelb, number 11, with 8:08 to play. 78-36 is your score.
With Perry and O'Neal just coming on the floor. Everybody else who has been on the floor for the Hornets tonight has scored. So you've got to be excited as a Hornet fan to know that everybody that comes out there and contributes defensively also can contribute offensively, and they've done that so far tonight against Vanguard University.
Oh, deep three by Rivera. Chris Rivera connects from 30 feet away, 79-39. Maintaining that 40-point lead does the Hornets. And Lynn Bias might be a little bit too high at number 7. Ralph Sampson didn't win the big one, but yeah, he is one of the greats. There's a missed 3 by O'Neal. Where do you put Magic and Isaiah Thomas? Where do you put Jerry Lucas? Where do you put Jerry West? And there's the 2 from the corner is missed by Baker. Rebound to Perry. Perry leading the break on the right side. Daniel O'Neal thought about a 3, doesn't take the 3. Gelb likes it. Gelb misses it. 79-39. Here's Talley. Rivera thought he had 3 in his eyes. Dump down. Gonna get a bump on the inside. Daniel O'Neal, his first personal foul. Timeout taken with 7:05 to play in the ball game. Fullerton cruising comfortably, 79-39. This is Fullerton College basketball on SportsNetUSA.net. And don't forget, Fullerton College football tomorrow, 6 p.m. versus San Diego Mesa. Me, Mark, I think Noah's taking a ride with us down to San Diego. You going to San Diego, right? Noah Alvarez will be there as well. And you're going to watch the foul underneath. And there's the hole. Actually, it's the one on the tally. That's if he might have got there a little bit too late. But as the way the game is going, I would have called that a charge. Thank you for that replay. You got to love that camera angle. You got to love the way they got that. Appreciate it. And he did get there too late, but again, I'd call a charge on that one.
Of course, Corey Neyland would like to see somebody like Wayman Tisdale come out on the floor here. Somebody nice and smooth.
Let me put it this way. I'd take Wayman Tisdale and Keith Lee over Walter Berry if you want to talk early 90s.
Tisdale played for
early 80s, excuse me. Yeah. Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, 82 through 85 when he played.
Led him to a Final Four as well. And there's a block from behind by R.J. Knibb, the athleticism. No, I don't think he did lead him to a Final Four. My bad. Poke away by Rivera, out of bounds, stays with the Hornets. 79-39 out of the timeout. Who else you got?
Well, I sort of went back to 1952. I got Tom Gola, who played for LaSalle, who had a great career while he was there. He's in my top 20.
And yeah, he is. He should be. And you talk about LaSalle, who are you going to pick? Tom Gola or Lionel the L Train Simmons as the best LaSalle player of all time?
I'll take Gola.
O'Neal is there to Perry on the right side, working the clock. Nib, who's very active down low, got away with a walk in the lane, but he misses that one, and Baker with the rebound. Lawrence likes the three. Short. Tally working underneath off the glass. Wants the and one, does not get it. But he does get another bucket. 79-41. He's got 4 points. 6 minutes to play. Coach Selehan wants a travel call, doesn't get it. Howland misses the three. Lawrence, Baker, set shot, no good. Rebound to Perry. So with the carom, Perry walking the ball up the court. What's Vanguard shooting, Mark?
Vanguard right now 16 of 54 at 29% in this game.
Rivera with the knockaway. Lawrence over to the right side. There's a block. Ryan Perry tried to get set to take a charge. Max Lawrence wasn't having any of it, so he'll head to the line in this ball game. He's got 10 points.
Will be Vanguard University's 6th opportunity from the free throw line. They're 5 of 5 so far in the game. They make that one, so they're 6 of 6. They're 4 of 20 from three-point country. Vanguard Fullerton College is 8 of 23, 35%. You like the 30% from three-point country. I've always looked, right? You're more of a 30. What do you want?
Nowadays, it's got to be much better than 30%. If you're not shooting 35% from three, you're lacking, especially in today's game. In today's game, at this three-point line, you better be closer to 40% shooting. There's Nib down low. Reverse layup up and in. You got two players, the Petronas brothers, in the air. And he makes them. And you know what, Mark? I'm going to feel bad because I'm not going to use my Petronas joke. And no, Bill Bradley is not in your top 10. There you go. Nice layup by Lawrence, even though he scored 44, I believe it was, in the finals, in the consolation game.
Mm-hmm.
Good player, but not the greatest.
Max Lawrence now has 16 points in the game for Vanguard University.
You know, I was thinking about that when you have these discussions. Who's the top? Here's the replay here. Down low, watch Nib. Petronas is up, and Petronas is down. 2 points for Nib. Cal State Fullerton has had some good point guards as well. I mean, Perry Webster might have been the last great Cal State Fullerton University point guard. The best, however, it's got to go to Leon Wood, former Fullerton Titan and Olympian.
Player, referee.
Now currently. Nice bucket by Blaine Petronas, goes underneath the backboard and underneath the rim to put it up in traffic for the bucket.
So you look at Blaine Petronas, who now has 9 points in this game. 2 of 7 from the floor, but he's starting to heat up. Makes that free throw. So he's 1 of 1.
So if you look, the all Cal State Fullerton team could be Perry Webster, Leon Wood in the backcourt, Cedric Sabalos, and Bruce Gordon at your 4. I don't know how good Vincent Blow was back in the 80s, but he was decent. But he probably wouldn't make it as a big man. Here's Ryan Perry for a 3. No good.
Hey, relax. Relax. Get it.
81-48. 4 minutes to play in the ball game. Gail Goodrich is not in the top 15 or 10. Elvin Hayes was good and great, but no. Missed 3. Gail comes away. Here's Daniel O'Neal. Stop and pop that 3. He does not.
I'm going to put Adam Morrison in my top 30 just because of
No.
Chuck Lemphasis.
No.
Morrison from Gonzaga.
There's a three by Daniel O'Neal.
You're not giving the Gonzaga player any love here,
Daniel
huh?
O'Neal out of Grant High School. Also a product-producing basketball player. Gilbert Arenas went to Grant High School. No. And there is a drive the lane by Lawrence, and he comes up empty, but he's fouled. 84-48 is your score. He's a great player for a couple years. But no, not one of the all-time greats. Not in the top 30. Top 100, yes. Converts on the first, 84-49.
They giving Butch Lee from Marquette any love?
Yeah, give him love. Better than Adam Morrison. Jack Givens, don't forget Marcus Johnson, David Talley in for Max Lawrence.
So Fullerton currently 32 of 70 shooting 45%, 9 of 26 from 3 at 34%. So the Hornets.
O'Neal for three again, misses that one to the right side. Chased down by Petronas, saved by Rivera. And Mark, when you look at under 3 minutes to play this Fullerton team, we're going to enjoy this season watching them play and coming out to broadcast more games, because this is going to be another one of those special teams that Perry Webster has.
Well, what I like about them, Corey, is they matched up physically against Vanguard University. They're winning the rebound battle. When they're winning the rebound battle, it's almost even. They've got 29 defensive rebounds, 13 offensive rebounds. So it's not lopsided where they're stopping. And you've got to have that with a Perry Webster team. When you play great defense, you've got to limit the other team to one shot. But then you've got to get the rebounds like this Fullerton team has done tonight, as we get timeout with 2:37 to go. It's the Hornets 84, the Lions 51 here on Sportsnet USA.net. So quick assessment. I know it's game one. I understand that. Can you really, I mean, I know Perry Webster's going to say, yeah, Mark, you can judge a lot in game one. You're a fan. You're a fan of basketball. So I'm asking you as a fan, can you see anything about this Fullerton team? What is it?
I think they're a Final Four team myself. I think Omaje Smith has a chance to be a special player. I think he has a chance to be the Conference Player of the Year. I think DJ Houston can be a special player. He's dynamic. You didn't see that here. In crucial games, you're going to see just how good he is. I think Harrison Bonner, when you see a guy play defense the way he does, I mean, last year in the finals, 4 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. He's a guy who came in and played significant minutes in the final game, and he produced. I think that is a key. And if Jacob Hyman can come in and solidify the inside, you got inside-outside. If Ronnie Stapp is healthy, he's a Player of the Year in Bakersfield coming out of high school. He's one of those guys who can do everything you want on the floor. So, yeah, I think this could be another Final Four team. Alvin, Gale. And you talk about that no 6'10", no 6'11" guys, but they've got a lot of guys who are 6'2" to 6'6". And they're interchangeable. Down low, Gale puts it up and puts it in.
Well, I can't teach quickness, I can't teach speed, I can't teach height.
But you can teach them how to use it. That's what Perry Webster does well and his coaching staff does. Here's Gale again. Leaves it for Nib. Back out to Perry. Under 2 to play. It's 86-52. Howland set shot. And records his 6th point. He's got 2 threes out of the hop.
The other thing you can teach is defense. They've got Vanguard shooting at 31% from the floor in this game, Corey, and it doesn't happen because you're playing against players that aren't as good as you. It's solid defense that created that 31% from the floor for Perry Webster's team.
With a 3. Full court pressure. Selehan urging his team. Last year, the Vanguard developmental squad was 5-5. And so this year they're looking to improve on that record. As Vanguard with 65 seconds to play. Down low, Nib reverse, that's 2. Nib in double figures with the 11 points. And a nice pass by Luka Gill.
That is the 21st assist for the Hornets tonight in this game.
And that's what you got to love if you're a coach, sharing the ball. I mean, 21 assists on how many field goal attempts or field goal makes?
They have made 35.
That's not bad. Not a lot of one-on-one action.
And they've only got 7 turnovers. So it's a 3-to-1 ratio, assist to turnover.
Let me put it this way. If you can average under 10 turnovers a game at any level, but especially community college, you're going to win a whole lot of games. 30 seconds left. 91-55. Howland Long. So with 20 seconds to play, tally to Caraballo, who hit his last 3. Here's Petronas, no good, and Ryan Perry will dribble out the clock. And Vanguard, their first game of the season, an exhibition preseason win over Vanguard University developmental squad, 91-55.
Fun, exciting basketball game. Perry Webster's got to be proud of his team. They played solid defense, like you said, 7 turnovers. That's amazing. 20 assists. If they could carry that all year, well, I guess your prediction of them being a Final Four team and probably defending the state championship again is going to be something that happens.
Who have we talked to on the basketball team this year so far?
I've talked to Perry Webster and DJ Houston.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, you think you mind grabbing another player right now?
You know, I think Noah ought to go grab a player and talk to a player before we get off the air. Noah, you think you could grab a player from Fullerton College and have a quick interview before we go away? We'll see if he's as good as he is at volleyball.
No, that's okay. Let's just go home.
No, let's give Noah a chance. Come on now. Got to make it quick, Noah.
Your call in the truck. Okay, we're going to go for it.
Mr. 30 minutes. Don't let him answer.
So since we have a minute, we'll talk a little bit about Fullerton College basketball one more moment. Again, this is the team that is going to get to the playoffs one more time. This is the team that can be special. But we have to believe that the defense is the key. Defense is the way to go. Because if you've seen the last 4 years, here's your replays down low. Nib on the inbound play. If you get a bucket that easily on the inbound, then you're going to lose games, as he got good footwork ahead of Timothy England. Watch the screen here. And as we always say, the most dangerous person on the basketball floor when they're setting a screen is the screener. Here's Omaje Smith, converting 1 of his 21 points in this ball game.
Leading scorer for the Hornets.
Yes, yeah, and he'll probably be the leading scorer all season because he's one of those players that can shoot in and shoot outside. He was a second-team all-conference last year, looking to be first-team all-conference this year.
What you've got to like about him too, Corey, is offensively, they find the open spot when they don't have the ball. One of the things that you'll see in basketball is everybody will bunch up and get on top of each other, and there's nobody open. But you watch them get the space that they need as offensive players on the floor. Watch it here. Everybody's in an open space. Anybody could touch the ball and take a shot just then.
And that's why Tawan Elston had room to create this crossover. He has enough room 15 feet away from the next closest person. He comes right at the elbow, crosses back over to the wing, and then gets the bucket going back into and toward the lane. There's
and when you set the screen, you come off the ball, you come to this side, you clear things out for your man to go down low, which is exactly what they do. Instead of crowding the lane, they really open things up.
And great camera work there, because you saw R.J. Nib keep his pivot foot down. You saw the screener. Here's your screen. There's one screen. There's two screen. Now the screener rolls down, and he's open. He gets the Petronas twins in the air, or brothers in the air, and goes up and under. So you watch the movement off the ball. There's another movement off the ball. That's Luka Gelb on a good interior pass. And here's the key. The pass is perfect, moving towards the basket. And down low, movement without the ball, unselfishness. That's the third reverse layup there you see for R.J. Nib. Well, but that interior passing you see, watch Gelb. He didn't want to shoot at all. He knew he was passing, and you come up underneath.
And here's the thing again, when you space yourself the way you do defensively out there, what happens is you can't crowd defensively. I've got to stay with my man. And if my man's not going down to the basket, I can't double a triple team. If I do, I'm leaving those three-point shooters open, and this Hornet team can get the three-point basket. If you're going to give them three-point shots all night, it's going to be like the days when Fox was here. When he got hot, he'd score 30 points for Perry Webster's team. So I love the way the offensive opens up the space. And what I like, too, what you just brought up, they look for the open guy. They may have the shot, but if your shot's better, we saw it more than once. They handed it off to the easier shot.
And that's where the 21 assists comes from, where you're looking for the next guy to get that better shot. And we're going to tell Noah, never mind.
What are we doing, Ryan? Because he's not coming back. So let's wrap it up. We're going to get out of here. Corey, I'm going to let you call the end of the game here and have your last words for Perry Webster.
Last words, final score 91-55 for the Fullerton College Television Department. For the whole crew, thank you. Great shots. We love y'all. And anytime you guys want to come out, I'll show up at the last minute and call some games. Mark will be here 2 hours early. Ryan will be here with you. So we want to do that. For the television department, Noah Alvarez, Ryan Osborn, Mark Pavlovich, I'm Corey Neyland. Once again, 91-55, Fullerton College in their first game of the season gets a win. This has been Fullerton College Basketball on SportsNetUSA.net.